Hey y'all, I'm going to show you how to hook up your duct to your dryer. Let's get started. The first and main thing you're going to want to do is make sure that this is not plugged in. You do not want any electricity in any source at all. I had a video showing you how to undo everything, but that video got lost. So I'm going to show you how to put everything back on, and it's kind of the same as when you're taking it off. You'll just do this but opposite. One of the things is, if you're installing like a different dryer, you do not want to use the same duct because that is dangerous. The lint can catch on fire, and you want to make sure that you do not have any extra lint hanging out of here. And you want to make sure the same thing for your dryer itself. There are different ways to hook it up. I use these. These are 4-inch. I don't know the name of them, but you can get these at Lowe's. These are 4-inch. Actually, the name might be on it. Clamps. They're just clamps. Okay, and another thing too, when you're shopping, trying to find which one will fit, some of them will have like an extra sheath of metal on the end to help you grasp it. You don't need that. And the thing that's going to be wrong about that is these are most likely going to be too long for what you're installing, so you're going to have to cut it and make it short because you do not want any extra bends in this. So the ones that come with the extra sheath of metal, it's going to be useless when you cut off the ends. So let's go ahead and get this one started. One of the options that you have too, and is highly recommended, is to put duct tape around this as you get it on, just to kind of create that seal and to keep things like this from happening, so that you don't have little dust fall out places. I don't have any duct tape, but if you do, I recommend that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this clamp, we're going to put it over a little bit like that, and then we're going to slide this puppy on. And be careful if this rips, because you don't want any holes around it. So just keep an eye on the 360. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to give it a 360 to make sure there's no holes in it as I'm putting it on. We're going to tighten it up. So like I said, right here, you could take your duct tape and go around it to create that seal. All right. The end of it is right here. And we're going to go ahead and tighten this as far as we can. You do not need a drill for this. Some people may recommend you get a drill. Yeah, it's going to take 2 seconds. But if you don't have a drill, you don't need a drill. Yo, I took an entire dryer apart to clean it with a screwdriver. Okay, the only times that I really would want a drill is if I'm going into the wall and a stud. Anytime you're going into something is when you're going to want a drill. But if it's just a piece like this, you don't need one. Now, I would love a drill. If there was anybody out there who would love to sponsor me and send me a drill, you would be very, very gracious. And I would appreciate that, because I do a lot of handiwork without a drill. And we just make it a little bit easier. Where there's a will, there's a way, obviously. But having a drill would be nice. All right, so I'm shaking it back and forth. It's not going anywhere. This side is secure. And like I was mentioning earlier, you do not want to go ahead and just put that on because you're going to have 2 feet of extra that is going to get caught and cause potential fires as the lint builds up. So we're going to do a quick measurement and cut through it. So I'm going to kind of eyeball a little bit of what I think it would be. Going to be here at this point. I kind of take like a point reference of there, and also you're going to want a little bit extra to be able to get that around. So I'm going to say we're going to go with this. We're going to go here, and you can always cut more, but you can't cut less. So if you're nervous about how much you're cutting, just give it a little bit extra coils on it, and you could always just trim it later. So I'm gonna heed my own advice, so we're gonna take this here. All right, I found these from an old kit that I had. I'm sorry my Dollar Tree scissors didn't work. All right, I do want to show you, if you are somebody that has a gas line in your house and you're not hooking up a gas line, please be careful and make sure you do not touch these knobs or the gas will come out. I do not have a gas line, electric one, so I cannot help you there, friend. But what I did was just scoot this a little bit closer to me so that I can go ahead and get this on, and then we just have to finish pushing it back. And if there are any adjustments that we have to make, we can just go ahead and do them from there. This one's much easier. The other type was bent. I remember when I got that at Home Depot last time, it was bent. Whatever it was. Roll this in though. And the same thing with the duct tape. At some point, I will do a video taking these apart, because this is a second-hand dryer, and I have no idea what's in here. I just need a dryer ASAP, so I'm not taking it apart right now. I do not have the capacity for that, but I do need a dryer. So we're going to get that tightened on. And these are 4-inch clamps, once again. It's a good place to start if you're not sure what you need. All right. Oh, yeah. Just rubber flathead. Alrighty. make sure, because I do not have that duct tape on. All right. So this is what you're going to have. That there, that over there. And like I said, to take it off would be the same thing, but in reverse. And always, always, always make sure you do not have any power on. It's kind of blurry. Hello. Just make sure you don't. You're going to want to be as safe as possible. Please do not have power on when you're messing with any type of appliance, especially something as big as a dryer, because that will end you. And some dryers will need adapters. My older dryer needed this adapter, but I just realized I do not need one. It's going to plug straight into that. I don't know the difference. I don't know why, but I don't need that anymore. So let's get it hooked up. People are going to tell you to hit that breaker box. Turn it off. If you know which breaker it is, turn it off on that breaker box. Go back. We're going to check. Perfect, perfect. I'm not touching that line. And that is how you hook up your dryer duct. Thank you, guys.